Yeah.
Okay, good morning, students.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, let's start with the next topic. In the last class, already we have discussed. We have started with error correction and detection. Now, moving ahead, in last class we have studied Hamming distance, and then this Hamming code, and then parity check, two-dimensional parity check, and multi-dimensional parity check. These all we have discussed. So the next important topic is cyclic codes. That is, we call it a cyclic redundancy check (CRC). So this is also used to detect the error. Is there any error in our data transmission? So coming to the cyclic codes are special linear block codes with one extra property. In a cyclic code, if a code word is cyclically shifted, the result is another code word. So whatever the code word we are going to get, like in previous case also we have got, and we have added two code words and we have got new code word. So here also, if you can rotate the existing code word, then you will get one more new code word. So that is the advantage of this particular cyclic codes. So the topic, the main important topic we need to discuss is cyclic redundancy check, how the CRC works. So these are the samples how we can form the code words with respect to the CRC. So if your data is a 4-bit, then 3 bits of the remainder we will add, then it will become code word. So whatever the last 3 bits we have added in the pink color, those are called as a remainder. When we perform the division operation, then we will get some remainder that will be added to the data word, then the code word will be formed. But right now it will not be clear for you guys. So that will be clear with the help of example. So directly I'll shift to the diagram. This is a data word. This assume that it is a 4-bit A0, A1, A2, and A3. Then generator. So by default, whatever the number size of the data word will be there. So if it is a n size, n minus 1 zeros will be appended to the data word. So for example, in this case, there are 4 data bits, that is 4 data bits, then 3 zeros will be added to this. So that's what 4 plus 3, total 7-bit data it will be. So these 3, then this together will be done with the division operation. Then whatever the remainder we'll get, so that will be added here. Then it will become a code word. So then it will be transmitted in the same way. It will come at the receiver side. The receiver side again will extract that remainder part, and then we'll get the code word. So instead of going through this, we'll see example here directly. So let's look at the example. The data word, as I already said, we are going to take the example as 4-bit, that is 1001. So this is a data word which I am going to transmit over the network. Then in this case, we are going to have two more fields, that is divisor sequence also that he is going to give, from which he is going to divide that 1011 as a divisor he has given, and our dividend is 1001. So then you can perform a modular 2 arithmetic division operations here. Just check, that's what I said. How many number of zeros will be added here? N minus 1. So n is how many? 4 bits. Then n minus 1 is how many bits? 3 bits. So 3 bits got added. So data word is 4-bit, and 3-bit of augmented data word got added. That is nothing but n minus 1 number of zeros will be added to our data word. Then it will become 7-bit. So earlier data word was 4-bit. Now it has become 7-bit. Once you convert that into After adding this augmented bit, then start performing the modulo 2 arithmetic or XOR operation we call. So 1011. Then first bit is 1. Then definitely 1011 ones are 1011. Then you can take that. Then 1 1. Anyhow, it is going to be 0. And 0 0 is 0. 0 1 is 1. XOR operation. You just remember the truth table of your XOR. So 1 1 is again 0. Then after every one place of operation, you have to right shift by one position. No, this has to be left because anyhow it has already become 0, but still it has to be right shifted by one bit. Then take 1 0. Now as usual, your normal division operation, take the 0 down, and then again it will become a 4 bit, and this time the first bit is going to be 0. So 1011 zeros, then all zeros will come. Then again perform the XOR operation 1 0, then again shift it right, then take one more 0, then finally we will come up with a remainder, that is 110. So quotient, whatever it may be, whatever the quotient you get, we are not interested in this part. We are not going to consider, but whatever the remainder we get here, so that will be added along with our data word. Our data word was 1001, and no code word is going to be 1001 plus our remainder, whatever we have got, that is 110. So this both together, data word plus remainder together, will become a code word. So first you have to take the data word, then add n number of n minus 1 number of zeros to that. The n is nothing but how many bits you have in the data word minus 1 number of zeros you add it to that. Then divisor will be there with you, from which you want to divide that. Then start dividing with the help of modulo 2 division. Then every time you have to shift one bit to the right. Then finally you will come up with one remainder. So when you come across with, here it is a 4 bit and this is a 3 bit. So when our number of bits will become less than our divisor, then stop the division operation, because now it has become 3 bit and this is 4 bit. Stop it, and whatever the remainder we have got, add it to the data word. So that will form the code word. Is it clear, guys, how we'll get the code word in CRC? Because in exam definitely he will ask a problem only. He will give you this data word and then he will give the divisor. You need to perform division operation by calculating this number of zeros, how many you need to add, and then you have to perform the division operations. Then you have to calculate remainder, then attach with a code word. This is at the sender side. The same thing should be carried out at the receiver side also. But tell me whether the division operation is clear. This how it will be done.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then once you get the remainder, you added with a code word, data word, then it has become a code word. Now let's look at the receiver side. When we will say that error has occurred and when we will say that no error has occurred. Let's move on to the receiver side. Now code word we will receive at the receiver side, as already seen the diagram. What we will receive here, the entire code word we will receive. After the added, we have added the remainder here. That remainder we have calculated here and added, and then the entire code word will be received at the receiver side. So take that receiver, entire code word, and again divisor is going to be same. Whatever the divisor we have used in the sender side, the same divisor has to be used at the receiver side also. There we have used 1011, same you use, and start dividing again. So first bit is 1, then it is going to be 1011, then perform every time you shift one bit. Then finally, if you get a remainder as 0, that we call it as a syndrome bits, that is there in our diagram also. If you get these all 3 bits as a 0, then that is nothing but no error has occurred in the transmission, then data word is accepted. Is it clear when we can say that no error has occurred? Students, are you there? Hello?
Yes, sir.
When we have to say that there are no errors?
When we get syndrome 000.
Yes, when you get a syndrome as 00 after performing the XOR operations, is same like a sender side, then it is nothing but our data word is accepted and there are no errors in the transmission. So let's take another example at the receiver side only. Here one bit we have changed. Just observe this. Here 1001 it is. Here 1000. We have little bit changed one bit here. That means one bit has got corrupted. If we receive this data at the receiver side, if we receive the code word as 1000, followed by 110 as our remainder. In this case, again perform the division operation. Then here we are getting the remainder. If you get any remainder, that is nothing but error has occurred in the transmission. Then definitely in that case, data word will be rejected. So the only way to confirm whether error has occurred in the transmission or not is the syndrome bit. That is nothing but the remainder at the receiver side is called as a syndrome bit. If the syndrome bits are 000, then it is called as data word is accepted. No error has occurred in the transmission. If the syndrome bit, if it is anything else apart from 000, then that is nothing but data word is discarded. That means some bit got changed during the transmission. That's what we had changed one bit and we have used. So that's why definitely we are getting some kind of remainder here, so data word will be rejected. Is it clear, guys, how sender side arithmetic operation will be performed and how receiver side will be performed? And in fact, based on this, you have one experiment in your next semester network lab also from this CRC only. First experiment in your network lab is this only, to perform cyclic redundancy check operation at the sender side and receiver side. There you have to take some dividend and divisor. Then you have to perform this with the help of networking. Is it clear how it will work?
Yes, sir.
Okay, in exam also most of the time he will not ask a theory, he will give a problem only. Even though if he ask problem, theory, you should be able to explain the same with the help of one example, whatever you feel comfortable. But in most of the cases, he will give a problem, he will give only the data word and he will give the divisor. Then once he give that, you need to calculate this augmented number of zeros. That will be calculated based on n minus 1 number. That is, if it is 4, then 3 zeros will be added. If it is 5, then 4 zeros will be added. If it is 6, 5 zeros will be added. So like that, you have to add number of zeros, then start performing your XOR operations for each and every bit. But every time make sure one bit you have to shift right. See here, first time it is done here, then next every time you have to shift right by one bit. Don't start from the left side every time. So every time you have to shift right. That is what we call it as cyclic redundancy check. Cyclically it will be shifted right every time. So you should be keep on shifting, then perform the arithmetic operations. That is nothing but XOR operations. So this all together we call it as a CRC. This is used for the error detection. Okay, I hope it is clear. So I will move ahead with the next topic, that is polynomial. Yes, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then polynomial is almost similar to our CRC. Once again,
Yes, sir.
hope you might have studied somewhere. So now we'll start using the polynomial for the error detection. So let's see here, we can use a polynomial to represent a binary data. Yes, of course, we have to represent our binary in the form of polynomial data. No, in the previous case, all binary itself we have used for the division operation. Binary directly we have used, but in this case, binary will be represented in the polynomial first, and then division operation will be performed. So each bit from the right to the left is mapped onto the power term. So directly we'll see example instead of this theory. See here. No, this is our binary data. Any one binary data you can call. This if we call A0, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6. So how do you represent that in a polynomial? So we already know how we represent in a polynomial. So the first field, that is the zeroth field, is always called as 1 into x to the power 0. And next will be 1 into x to the power 1. And next will be 0, whatever the quotient is there. Sorry, index is there. 0 into x to the power 2, 0 into x to the power 3, 0 into x to the power 4, 0 into x to the power 5, and next 1 into x to the power 6, because in this case coefficient is 1. So, but this is the overall representation of our binary bits in a polynomial. But actually, whenever we find across the coefficients as 0, no need to represent them in a polynomial. That also we know from the polynomial basics. So the short form of this entire equation has been done here, because only 3 bits we have with the coefficients. That is x6 bit we have, then x1 bit we have, and x0 bit we have. Then the short form of this particular polynomial equation is x6 plus x plus 1. So this is how you need to represent your binary data into polynomial. Is it clear how do you represent? I hope this is not a new topic for you guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is how he will give a binary data. First you have to convert that binary into polynomial. Then we will do the division operation again there also. So let's move ahead. So now we'll take one data word as x to the power 3 plus 1. This data word I want to transmit. Then he has given a divisor here, that is x to the power 3 plus x plus 1. This is there we had 1 0 1 1. So the same thing, same example he has represented in binary. Just check this. There whatever the example, I think same example is there. 1 0 1 1. If you represent in polynomial, what will be the answer? X cube plus x plus 1. Yes.
Plus 1.
That is what we
Yes,
have
sir.
taken, x to the power 3 plus x plus 1. Then our data word is x to the power 3 plus 1. There, what is the data word we had used? 1001. Then definitely x to the power 3, the remaining 2 are 0, then directly 1 is there. Yes? Same example only is taken, but only
Yes.
thing it is in the form of polynomial.
Yes, sir.
But here, this we call it as a generator polynomial. There, how many number of zeros we added? Based on what we have added as zeros there, extra zeros we had added. How we added that?
N minus 1.
Yes, n minus 1, that is nothing but
So
whatever the
3.
degree is there. So that degree minus 1 we used to add it.
Hmm.
But in this case, so whatever the this x to the power 3 plus 1 is there, our data word, into the maximum degree of this divisor. Maximum degree is how much? X to the power 3.
X cube.
Yes, x cube. Then x to the power 3 plus 1 into x to the power 3 equal to how much?
X cube plus
No,
x
how come x cube?
raised to 6 plus x cube.
Yes, that is what I have taken
Sir,
here.
x raised to 6 plus x cube.
Yes, x to the power 6 plus x cube. So leave one place here in between, because in our this divisor we have in between term also, so that will match here. So that you write how you are getting this generator polynomial is, you have to multiply your data word with the this highest index of this particular divisor, that is cube, x to the power 3 plus 1 into x cube. So that will become x raised to 6 plus x cube. So that you take it as a generator polynomial. There we have added a zeros, but here we have to multiply. So that is a one difference. Then again, we have to start dividing. Then to make x raised to 6, how much you will need to multiply? X raised to 3 into x raised to 3. It is going to be x raised to 6. Then x raised to 3 into x, how much? X raised to 4. Then x raised to 3 into 1, that is x raised to 3. Then x raised to 6, both will get cancelled, and even this will get cancelled. Only x raised to 4 is remaining. Then next, plus this is x cube, and here we need x4. X cube into x, it will become x4 plus x square plus x. Then our remainder is x square plus x. So in this case, our remainder is x square plus x. So our data generator polynomial is x cube plus x raised to 6 plus x cube plus then x square plus x. So this will form a code word. In previous case, it was remainder, but in this case, again it is a remainder, but it is in the form of polynomial. So generator polynomial plus remainder will form the code word in this case. So this is at the sender side. The same thing you have to perform at the receiver side. Receiver side, what will be the input? That is nothing but generator polynomial. This entire thing you have to take. This you have to divide with x to the power 3 plus x plus 1. Then when we can say that there are no errors in the transmission. Yes, guys. When we can say that there are no errors in the
Yes, sir.
transmission. Yes, again, if syndrome values comes as a 0, that receiver side part I have not done. I am assuming that you people will do that. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Because nothing is there. Again, you have to perform in place of the x to the power 6 plus x cube. You have to take this and again perform the division operation. If you get a remainder as 0, 0, then data is word is accepted. Otherwise, data word is rejected. So that is what how
Not
the decision you need to take. In question paper also, most of the time he may give directly the data word and divisor bit, or he will give a binary data that first you have to represent it in the polynomial and then perform. So that is how you need to do. So most of the cases he will give a binary data. He will ask you to first represent that in a polynomial. Once you represent it in a polynomial, then generate this generator polynomial, then perform the division operation at the sender side, then perform the division operation at the receiver side. Then depending on the remainder, whether it is 0 or something, you decide whether error has occurred or not in the transmission. So that is what we call it as a CRC division using polynomial. Both the topics are same only, but they are directly binary division we have done, but here polynomial division. That is the only difference. But first you should know how to represent the binary data in polynomial, then only the CRC division will be helpful. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go ahead with one more small topic. So the final conclusion, that is what I said. If f of x is not equal to 0, remember if it is not equal to 0, then one or more bits are corrupted. If it is equal to 0, then no bit is corrupted, or some bits are corrupted, but the decoder failed to detect them. So if remainder is 0, that is nothing but no error has occurred, or our detector has not able to detect the errors. So only those two conditions. If it is not equal to 0, directly we can say that some bits are corrupted. So this is what the conclusion we can come from cyclic codes. So next, go ahead to the next topic, that is checksum. The last error detection we discussed here is called as a checksum. The checksum is used in the internet by several protocol, although not at the data link layer. So let's go back to the directly to the one example here. In checksum, now assume that we are trying to send this data 7, 11, 12, 0, 6. So if you are trying to send this data, then along with this data, we always send sum of all these bits. We send 7, 11, 12, 0, 6, 36. If you add all together bits, so then it will become 36. Along with the data, we are going to send the sum of those bits also, where 36 is the sum of the original numbers. The receiver adds the 5 numbers and compares the result with the sum. If both are same, then the receiver assumes that no error. That is nothing but when we are sending any number of bits, the field numbers. So along with numbers, the last field is going to be a sum of all those numbers. Then it will go at the receiver side. Again, what receiver will do? Receiver will again add all the numbers. Then it will check the total of this with total at the receiver side. If both matches, then no error has occurred at the transmission. If it the mismatch, then error has occurred at the receiver side. So this is a one way in your checksum. But another way is there. So at the sender side, what we can do is, what is the sum here? 36. Instead of sending a plus 36, we have to send a minus 36. So that the receiver, what he will do, he will calculate plus 36. Then plus 36 minus 36, then the sum will become 0. If he get a sum as final total as 0, then he will assume that no error has occurred. So that's what in the next example we have done. See here, instead of sending a plus 36, what we will do, the first you have to calculate sum of all these numbers, then that sum has to be assigned with a minus symbol, so that at the sender side we are sending a negative value. Then receiver, he will again add all this, then he will get a positive number. Positive and negative both, if we add, if we get a 0, then no error has occurred. If we don't get a 0, then error has occurred in the transmission. So we'll go to the another example. How can we represent the number 21 in ones complement arithmetic using 4 bits? I think this you people know. Can anybody tell me how do you represent 21? In fact, answer is also there in that slide only. I have not closed the slide.
One zero one zero one.
Yes, it is 10101. Yes, correct. But the question is using only 4 bits. Here, how many bits you people are getting?
5 bits.
Then how do you convert this 5 bit into 4 bit? So in that case, there is a solution for that. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th bit extra is plus 1. This we have to remove from here, and this should be added to this. That is what we have done here. 0, 1, 0, 1 plus 1. Perform the arithmetic operation for that. That is XOR operation. then we will get a 4-bit representation of 21. So whenever he is asking you the question of 4-bit representation, if you are getting the answer as 5-bit, that extra bits you remove from that original number and add it to the last MSB, that is most significant bit, then you will get a 0110. So this will become 6. So 6 is a 21 representation in terms of 4 bits. In terms of 5 bit is this one, but in terms of 4 bit is 6. So we'll see with the help of example how we are getting that. So directly I'll go to the example now. So let's look at here directly the checksum example. 7, 11, 12, 0, 6. Then one more is total how many numbers are there? 6 numbers are there. Then sum we are getting it as 36. Then already I said how do you represent 36 in binary? So 36 in binary is 100 100. You just check later how do you get this. I hope you know how. I hope most of you people know how to represent 36 in binary.
Yes, sir.
Because this will become 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. 32 plus 4, 36. But we need this representation in how many bits? Only 4 bits. That's what I said. We are asking the 36 representation in terms of 4 bits. Then how many bits are extra here? 2 bits are extra. Take these 2 bits and add it here. Then what you are getting? 0110, that is 6. Then so you are getting the wrapped sum as 6. Then we are going to perform arithmetic operation. Then that is nothing but 1's complement of this number. You have to take 6. You are getting 1 into 0, 1 into 0, 0 into 1. So we are going to get 9. In fact, here it is wrong. So it should 0 should become 1. So then we will get the checksum as 9. So this is how we need to calculate the checksum. Is it clear? How do you calculate the checksum? First add all these number. Sum you will get it as 36. Then 36 you represent it in binary. But we are interested in 4-bit representation. Take those 2 extra bit. Then perform arithmetic operation. Then you will get the wrapped sum as 6. Then take a 1's complement of the 6. Then that will become a 9. So this 9 is called as checksum. So the checksum value will be sent along with the packet in checksum error transmission method. So we are going to send checksum along with our data. So this is the method we are going to use. Then once it come here, then again, so here the total, he will add the total, that he will get the sum as 45 because he is going to add 9 also, that whatever the checksum we had sent. Then 45 represented in binary. Then 4-bit representation, take these 2 extra bits and add it. You are going to get 15. Then again, this what you can call 1's complement you take. Then if you get a 0 as a all zeros, then the transmission has no errors. If you get something else, then transmission has errors. But here I think some problem is there. He has not taken the 1's complement. 0 should become 1 and this 1 1. These all are fine, but this should become 1. Here also there is a mistake and here also there is a mistake. But you should take a 1's complement of this particular number. And then we are going to decide whether error has occurred in the transmission or not. So this is how checksum will be used. Is it clear, guys, how checksum will be used?
Yes, sir.
So that is whatever we have done till now, the same thing in terms of algorithm he has written. Message is divided into 16-bit words, then the value of checksum word is set to 0. Then all checksum are added using 1's complement addition. Whatever the steps we have performed here, that he has written in the form of algorithm here. This is at the sender side, this is at the receiver side. So you should be aware about the algorithm also. In some cases, he may ask algorithm or he may give a problem. So for both, you should be ready. But you should know how to calculate this checksum. Based on checksum value only, we are going to decide everything. First, you take a total and then convert to 4-bit representation, and then take the addition. You will get a wrapped sum. Then convert, take a complement. Then you will get a checksum value. Then at the receiver side, same thing has to be done. If the final value, if it is 0, then definitely we are going to get no errors. Otherwise, there will be errors in the transmission. So this is how error detection, and in fact it is all in most of the cases they have detected the errors. Correction is we have not yet touched. That is another part of the syllabus. We'll see that later. So is it clear, guys, that this completes your 3rd module? Is there any doubts with respect to the today's topic or yesterday's?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, tell me.
So this
So this checksum, what we are doing, so we have total 6 digits.
Yes.
So after that, we are going to total it. So the 36 should be represented using like 6 bits.
That is what it is coming in a 6-bit first.
So we
See
have
here.
to take like 6 bits or not 5 bits or like that.
No. First 36 is coming in a 6-bit only. No, you just represent here. It is coming in 6 bits only. How many bits are coming here?
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yes, sir.
Then we are interested in 4-bit representation because checksum works on 4-bit representation. So that's why this extra 2 bits has to be removed. Then it should be added to the previous bits. Then you will get a wrapped sum. Then that wrapped sum should be taken as a ones complement.
Yes, sir.
But whatever the number of bits you will get, in this case we are getting 6-bit. Depending on the number, you may get 8-bit also, you may get 10 bits also. But it should be converted to 4 bits later.
Yes.
First you represent the whatever sum, it may, if it is a 80, then that 80 has to be represented in binary first. Then how many extra bits you are getting apart from 4-bit, that has to be brought here and added to the previous numbers. Then we'll get the wrapped sum.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any
Thank
other
you, sir.
doubts? Okay. Any other doubts are there? Otherwise, we'll wind the class. So this completes third module. From tomorrow, we'll start with the fourth module. That is transmissions again. We'll start with that. Okay. Shall I close the class?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.